What's going on? I hope you're having a fantastic day. My name is Mac and I am a professional human builder, which basically means that I believe in building human beings from the inside out and teaching them how to master their brain, body, and being through fitness, nutrition, lifestyle, and mindset. Notice I didn't say mind, body, soul. You're a lot bigger than that, and there's a lot more science and a lot more history that goes along to what makes you you, the magnificent, unique human being that you are. So I like to bring all of those together to discuss some of the bigger topics of life in the other 23 hours of the day where life happens. And today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the risk and rewards of being compassionate. What is the risk of showing love versus the reward of giving it away, knowing that you may not get it back? As human beings, we are naturally very protective of what we believe to be ours, even if it is like a job position or a partner or a friendship or a title that has given us some sort of meaning. We like to say, hey, that's mine. That's my road to success. That's my job to fill. That's my partner to bang. Whatever. Either way, as a human being, your natural tendency is to throw up your defense, to live in a sympathetic mode, a survival state based on your thoughts, beliefs, or your environment. And we as humans find it very difficult to shift out of that into that rest and digest or that repair mode where we are showing ourselves love and showing others love as a result. Many of us human beings have also taken that time to be compassionate, to give love, to help another human along their evolution, and had it not really work out so well. You may have given your heart to someone completely in a relationship. You may have done so with a family member or a very close friend, and maybe didn't receive the level of compassion or love that you thought you were putting out. And that is to nobody's fault. It just is. It's just part of this human experience. Sometimes we're going to pour out a lot more of that cup than we're ever going to receive back. So what does that mean? That means that you as a human have a responsibility to keep your cup full so that it overflows and you can share that love and that nurturing energy with people that are around you just because it's the human thing to do. Not because you're gonna get anything in return, not because it makes you get a better raise, or you're gonna have this magical, mystical amount of money show up in your bank account, or like your muscles are gonna grow overnight. You just show compassion because it's the human thing to do. So what is the risk of being compassionate? Well, you put your heart out on the table, odds are it might get smashed. That's okay. It's happened. It's happened to all of us. And it makes you a little bit timid of ever doing that again, much like any traumatic experience, right? If we've experienced something that has yielded a very loud emotional and physiological response from the brain, it's going to stay there. And it's going to react every time it receives a stimulus that is remotely close to that event. In a gym context, let's say you want to hit a PR, right? We want to really throw on the weight. We want to see what we can lift. We want to see what we got. And you throw the weight on the bar and then you failed that rep. And it did not feel good. Nothing about this rep felt good. Are you going to be jumping at the bones to do it again? Probably not. But what's the reward of putting yourself out there even though you know the other side of that coin? What is the reward of showing love, of giving compassion, of giving strength, which comes from selfless compassion, just because it's the human thing to do? Compassion is a combination of empathy, conscious awareness, and humanity. It's a really powerful emotion. And it's something that we as human beings feel we can't share because it's just too risky. We don't know what we're gonna get. We don't know if it's gonna come back to us. What if I told you that it didn't fucking matter whether or not it came back to you, or if it was returned to you from the source that you expected it to be returned from? It's a little weird. So on the flip side, let's think about this in a gym context again. What is the reward of putting yourself out there to try that rep, to lift that load one more time, to try that movement that intimidates you? Odds are you're gonna grow. Odds are you're gonna learn a lot about your body. Odds are your machine is gonna get a lot stronger because of it. So translating that into the other 23 hours of the day, what's the reward of being compassionate? Well, let's talk about it in science. You have 3 brains. You have your brain, your gut, and your heart. Yes, your heart. And we're going to talk about this in a scientific context and a metaphysical context because you can't have one without the other. So the gut receives all of the stimulus, all of the stimuli that you feed it throughout the day. Literally, all of the fuel that you are giving to your gut is dictating how that fuel is going to be communicated to elicit the proper physiological and biochemical functions from the brain. And that brain is going to communicate that down to the heart, and the rhythms of the heart set your frequency. And when we're talking about consciousness, you have 3, 4, and 5D consciousness, allegedly, right? The 3D is what we can see, it's what we can feel, it's what we can touch, it's what we know. 4D is the awareness that you are thinking thoughts. Metacognition. You are thinking about thinking. You are aware that you are a thinker of thoughts, not your thoughts. It's super important to hear that again. You are the thinker of your thoughts, not your thoughts. And the 5D is thinking through the heart space, feeling through the situation, because that is where we have the truest, most honest answers hidden within us. In metaphysics, we would say that the higher self comes from the heart space. With a blocked off heart, you can't open yourself up to much of anything, much less a willingness to ask yourself how you feel or see how those thoughts resonate with you, how those choices, relationships, and actions resonate with you. So in order to show compassion, you have to be aligned with the heart space and understand it in your cognitive mind and feel it and nourish it from the gut, which is smarter than you are. The gut has 150 times more genes than the human genome. It's pretty fucking intelligent. You may as well take care of it. So before we ask about the risk and rewards of being compassionate in an external setting, let's really think about the risk and rewards of showing yourself compassion. When you show yourself compassion, what you're saying is, I am willing to pour into my cup because I want to be able to have it overflow and give to others. I want to be showing myself so much love that it just radiates off of me and I am able to give it to everyone that comes into my path. Even if it's a random compliment, a smile, a hug, anything. Anything that makes you remember that we're all human, we're all going through it, we're all evolving one step at a time. That is the magic of humanity. That's the magic of being a human being, is your power to empathize, your power to understand, your power to connect with another human being. And in connecting with them, in offering them that random compliment, a smile on the street, or just the energy of compassion that you have already filled yourself with, you are feeding a collective of human beings who really need that love. So if you're one of these people that wonders how they can make an impact on the world, or if you're a leader, a human builder in your own community, if you're someone that people look up to, you can't quite figure out why, it's probably because you're a little bit magical and you deserve a lot of love and a lot of compassion and a lot of dedication to yourself, because you have the power to impact the collective by showing yourself that love and compassion. That is how you change the world, one human at a time. That was in Spider-Man. He says, hey, how can I be Spider-Man? How can I change the world? You just work with one human at a time. Next thing you know, you're fucking Spider-Man. Are the rewards of giving compassion to yourself and thereby others far greater than exiling that compassion out of your life because it may have hurt once or twice? I ask from a human that has been on both sides of that coin, from a human that has received a letter to her bully and written one, from someone who experienced mean girl syndrome firsthand and then thought that that was the way to protect myself I want to remind you that the strongest thing any human being can do is be selflessly loving. That takes real strength. That takes real strength, because you won't know if it's going to come back from that person. But what you do know is that in showing that love, in offering that level of compassion, understanding of the individual journey, and the respect to step back and say that person is on their own ride, and I get it because I'm on mine too, is really powerful. It's superhuman, and it makes you a lot stronger than you think. So I ask you, if this resonates with you, show someone in your life a little bit more compassion. Show the people in your gym a little bit more love. Maybe tell them that they're kicking ass, rather than isolating yourself. Rather than saying, oh, well, I don't want to talk to that person because the one time that I was nice to someone, they were not nice back to me, and therefore I'm going to be an asshole. That is not how we change the world, people. My family of Avengers in the making. We change the world one human at a time by being more loving to ourselves and thereby to others, one step at a time. Thank you so much for watching this. If you resonate with this, if this clicks with you, please click one of the links below. Go send me a DM on Instagram. It's @BMacFit on all social accounts. I am just a human looking to connect with other humans because I really believe in the power of human building, and I really believe that every single human being deserves a complete evolution from the inside out. And that doesn't happen alone. I get it. I'm in your corner. I believe in you. My name is Mac. I'm a human builder, and I really look forward to hearing